Hey everyone, Coach TurtleKing here. It's time for the next lesson on taking down meta level threats. This time I'll be focusing on how to take down Mr. Mishima himself, Kazuya. This character has fallen off a bit in the meta recently and has a higher execution floor than Steve, so he's not quite as common at lower levels, but knowing how to deal with Kazuya can be what makes or breaks your most important bracket runs. Fortunately, I have poured many hours into playing Kazuya myself, and as a grappler player, I can tell you exactly how to put Kazuya players on the back foot and win you your pass into the next round of bracket. Let's get started. If you want to learn to beat Kazuya, you need to be familiar with every one of his trillion moves. So what you gotta do is pick Kazuya, pull up the move list, and use every single one of his attacks. Do this in training mode while you have the show intangibility feature on, which will make parts of your character turn blue when they're intangible. So see which of Kazuya's moves have a lot of intangibility, so you make sure not to try to contest those. For an extra challenge, you can try to execute an Electric Wind God Fist. Keep in mind that Kazuya's won't use all of these random attacks, but they can appear at any point, so be careful and make sure you know what's going to happen when you see one come out. Neutral is the most important phase against Kazuya. It's your first line of defense against kill combos, and Kazuya has some weaknesses you can abuse in order to keep his electric fist as far away from you as possible. His jump squat is frame 7, which is 4 frames slower than the standard jump squat shared by the rest of the cast. His jump is also really bad, and his double jump has a lot of startup. All of this combined means his vertical mobility leaves a lot to be desired. Not only that, but his horizontal movement speed isn't exactly the greatest either, even when he's crouch dash canceling, although yeah, it's extremely scary. This means the main plan in neutral is just to keep Kazuya away from you, especially by camping him from above. Don't let him take you to any stage without platforms, and instead try to play passive on stages like Battlefield or PS2. Despite his horrible jump stats, Kazuya is equipped with some nasty anti-airs, which include his disgustingly fast and disjointed up air, and Electric Wind God Fist. Don't land directly onto these attacks. Instead, poke him with large disjointed aerials, and keep him guessing with regards to the timing and drift of your landing, so he doesn't get easy parry punishes. If you are forced to play against Kazuya on a flat stage, which you will be since you can ban FD and Kalos and still end up on Town and City, which is FD for half the time, you should know your options here too. Electric is a high hitting move with a full body invincibility on startup and total shield safety. This means it's best to beat it by whiff punishing it, although it requires some precise spacing to keep it safe. Using long-range, low pokes can keep you safe from electric since you're low to the ground, and put out a hitbox to punish Kazuya afterwards. If your character is really short, use this to your advantage. Kazuya is going to have to go for more specific moves to win neutral against short characters, including landing with aerials, which you can see coming since he has to jump off the ground first. If your character has a dominant ground game, this is also a big strength against Kazuya. You may be able to out-footsies him with better mobility. Kazuya can also struggle a ton against projectile zoning, just watch out for his really strong reflector. Once you land a hit on Kazuya, it's your turn to lay on the pain. Kazuya will explode you if he lands a hit, but you can abuse his disadvantage to try to explode him in return. Watch any Skyj vs Riddle set and you'll see how explosive things can be. Kazuya has the aforementioned slow double jump, relatively slow recovery options, and not many ways to threaten opponents below him outside of a quick landing nair, which is huge to be fair. All of this combined means that Kazuya gets juggled extremely hard, without many options to counter frame traps and disjoints, except for mixing his double jump sometimes and his armored command grab as a callout. Kazuya will often DI towards the ledge for this reason. His recovery, however, can be quite hard to contest, and risky since up B has so little hit stun, it makes it a chore to tech. Instead, you'll want to usually focus on ledge trapping, unless you can hit Kazuya for using resources too early or trying a lazy laser off stage. Kazuya has terrifying options once he's back on stage, including Gates of Hell and Electric. But when he's just getting off the ledge, his frame data and mobility renders him quite vulnerable. Don't pressure too close to the ledge in case he comes up swinging, but outranging him with aerials is a great plan. Oh, and one last thing, watch out for Rage Drive. You can remove it from Kazuya if you deal 36% to him, and if he whiffs grab or Rage Drive, he lowers the damage threshold further. But what if Kazuya lands a hit on you? It's time to perform your last ditch tactics to hopefully avoid losing a stock, and if you're lucky, prevent taking 70% damage. There are two main things to consider here. The first one is platforms. DI to platforms and you'll force Kazuya to guess in order to continue a combo. You can cover tech in place and tech roll in his direction with a Demon God Fist, which is his rising crouch move, and crouch jab is also effective at doing this, and can be cancelled into shield if he suspects a get up attack. Your best bet is to try and predict where Kazuya will land on the platform and tech roll away from that position, and occasionally mistech to throw off his timing. If you're on a platform, DIing off of them can also make the combo harder. The second thing to consider is the blue DI line. When you get hit by any attack in this game, there's at least a few frames where you're put into hit stop, right before you get launched. During this time, a small blue visual will appear by your character. This line indicates the direction that you will be launched once hit stop ends, and you can see it change with DI. Since Electric Wind Godfist stuns you for so long, this line is visible for an extremely long time. This allows the Kazuya player to react to which direction you're holding on your stick, and follow your DI to continue a combo. To make Kazuya's combos much harder, you can hold one direction, in or out, to make the DI line seem like you're flying in one way, and then right before you get sent flying, quickly DI in the opposite direction to give your opponent no time to react. Flicking left and right randomly can also make things boil down to a 50-50, but I tend to find that playing the mind game works better. You can also choose not to DI at all, and the blue line will not appear as long as your stick is in the neutral position. But I usually find that this just gives Kazuya an easy combo, so I wouldn't recommend it. Kazuya has ways to cover all DIs at once, but if a platform is within range of your DI, he can be forced to guess whether you're going up or choosing to stay away from it as a mix-up. Alright, you know the drill. Play 5 games as or against Kazuya. You can guarantee your opponent to beat Kazuya by fighting the CPU. But keep all these things in mind, and Kazuya players won't be able to just have a field day against you in bracket. Shut them down, lock up the neutral game, and keep them guessing when you're being comboed, and you'll give yourself enough chances to play advantage in order to win. That was Coach TurtleKing, and I'll see you in the next workout. Peace.